These are the 5 mindset shifts that allow me to cold approach with ease. Growing up as a shy, insecure kid, the thought of going and talking to a girl would give me tons of anxiety. But after cultivating the mindset I'm about to teach you in this video, talking to girls is one of the most fun things to do for me. The first lesson is that every interaction, good or bad, teaches you something extremely valuable that if you want to be good with girls, you just need to have. Otherwise, you're never gonna really understand girls. You're never gonna be good at communication. You just have to go out there and practice in real life. And this involves dealing with the good and the bad. There is no light without dark. You cannot have all good without having bad. It's just a flawed mindset that does not exist in reality. See, there's so many times when I have literally talked to girls, got in the hand, said, don't talk to me. I've gone for 30 seconds and it went bad. I went for 2 minutes and they just left. I went for 30 minutes and it went bad. I have literally brought home 2 girls, had them naked in my bed and thought I was gonna have a threesome and it just fell through. This is the level of failure that you have to get to. You have to just have so many close calls, so many rejections. And then don't get me wrong, there's been a ton of success in the mix as well. But that success wouldn't have been the same level of success if I hadn't learned from all the rejections that I've taken, all the close calls, all the mistakes that I've made. And this has come from talking to thousands of girls. So boys, if you want all my knowledge on how to start and have great conversations after talking to those thousands of girls, dealing with the rejections, having the successes, I created a conversation mastery guide for you that's gonna outline how to start and have great conversations with ease. It's completely for free. You can pick it up down below. It's the first link in the description. And the second one is you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The worst rejection is the regret of not going and talking to someone, which is what I dealt with for the first 19 years of my life. I would see so many attractive girls, some of them who even looked at me and smiled or gave me signals to come and talk to them, like complimenting me in class, and I would not act on it out of fear, and I was rejecting myself before I even gave it an opportunity. This was the worst rejection that I can ever express that I've dealt with in my life. There's been no time where a girl has straight up said, don't talk to me, or anything like that that compares to the feeling of regret that I've had to deal with the first 19 years of my life. So you have everything to gain when you go up and talk to a girl. You never know. This girl might be so into you and you might end up having whatever it is that you want, a one-night stand, a relationship, anything. It could go so far, but it will never go anywhere if you don't try. And this was one that really ingrained into my mind. My dad would always tell me as a kid, Seb, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Just go talk to them. And I didn't understand it until after 19, and I'm spreading this lesson on to you now. And the third lesson, which I quickly picked up on, is that conversation is actually not that difficult if the vibes are right. Now, don't get me wrong. There's girls I talk to today with all my communicative abilities, and I could not maintain a conversation if my life depended on it. This is just how it goes. Some girls are gonna be open for conversation and some girls are not. This is why I have a 3-question rule, where I'll ask them their name, where they're from, and if they're working or in school as just a general guideline. It doesn't always have to go like this, but if I get through these 3 questions and I'm hearing some bullshit like I'm from here, I work, I'm a nurse, and there's no reciprocation, no enthusiasm, no interest, I'll just say, well, it was a pleasure meeting you, have a good night, and I leave. It's that simple. And if the vibes are right, you'll notice that conversation is actually really simple. You don't have to talk about anything extravagant. You don't have to be a comedian. You don't have to be Kevin Hart or Matt Rife. You just have to be there, a normal person interacting, and this will take you further than you could imagine. I can't tell you how many times I've kissed a girl just because I went up and asked her those 3 questions, and by the end of it, with the nonverbal communication, the smile, the eye contact, it just built enough sexual attraction to the point where we kissed. It is that simple to have conversations if the vibes are right. So your main goal is to be finding girls who are receptive to your approach and just taking it as far as you can. And most of you have enough social skills to maintain a conversation. And now, after working in sales for over 4 years, I truly learned this mindset and I adopted it, and I'll just call it a sales mindset, which is that you have to go through plenty of no's in order to get a yes. It is impossible in sales to close every single call you take. I don't know a single person, and I don't think there is a single person who has ever had a 100% close ratio. Just think about that for a second. That anyone who is successful in doing sales deals with no's all of the time, yet they can be seen as wildly successful if they just deal with enough no's to get to a yes. And this doesn't mean that they're thirsty or desperate or trying too hard. This just means they understand the nature of sales in a volume game and dealing with people, which is that you have to deal with no's in order to get the yes. So I don't want you to view this as a negative thing, as, oh, I'm desperate, I'm trying too hard. No, this is just the simple human nature of interacting with people, and that some are not gonna like you, some are. You just gotta go until you find the ones that are. I can't tell you how many times I have been so down in terms of just like no in a night, and then boom, there's the yes, and the night turns around, and now I have a girl who's all over me and things go crazy and it's the funnest night ever, but I had to deal with the no, and then the yes. And that's just how it goes sometimes. You have to have that level of persistence and consistency and the ability to go through and deal with the no's in order to get to the yes, because when that yes comes, it is so rewarding, and it makes all the no's so much more rewarding when you're just like, oh man, I pulled this off after dealing with all that bullshit and I ended up winning anyway. And it builds a true new level of confidence that you otherwise wouldn't have if everything just went right for you all of the time. And the last mindset shift is that rejection teaches you what not to say, like touching a hot stove does. You learn that lesson real quick. So this one's not gonna come when you get that like hands up, like don't talk to me type of rejection, but this one's gonna be when you talk to a girl for maybe 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, and things go wrong. And you're over time gonna be able to piece together enough of these lessons that you learned when you felt that sting, and you're able to correlate the ideas and be like, oh wow, well during this one, I actually was making this mistake. And for me, this really got pieced together much quicker by taking on sales jobs and learning communication at the same time. So as I was talking to people on a daily basis, making these mistakes with my work, I was also making them with girls, and then reading communication books to really piece everything together and be like, oh, well, that makes sense. I was also reading books on human nature, psychology, and this all allowed me to develop at such a rate that allowed me to really stop making those mistakes and not have to touch that hot stove time and time again, so that I was able just to make these conversations much more smooth and develop my game, which is really just a communicative style as a whole that's very dynamic and adaptive to the situation that I'm in. So boys, once again, if you want my conversation mastery guide that's going to teach you how to start and have great conversations from having talked to thousands of girls at this point, you can pick that up down below. It's the first link in the description, completely for free.